Babies hide under blankets, adults laugh. They call it peekaboo. They take pictures. They think it's a game. But babies don't know how to lie yet. They don't know how to fake fear for fun. So when they pull that blanket up over their heads and stop moving, stop making noise, stop blinking, it isn't a joke. They're not hiding from you. They're hiding you. Because something else is already in the room, and it only sees what isn't covered. In 2013, a couple named Brielle and Mateo Rios moved into a small blue house in Ravalli County, Montana. One story, 4 rooms, tucked between the edge of a pine forest and a crumbling fence line. Their daughter, Alma, had just turned 10 months. She had big eyes, soft curls, and a habit they thought was adorable. Every night at the same time, 9:41, she'd crawl to the far corner of her crib, pull her muslin blanket over her head, and freeze. No sound, no crying, just gone. It started as a pattern. Then it became a problem. Her baby monitor, one of those newer smart ones with infrared and night vision, would flash a red light at 9:41. Every night. Motion detected. But when they played the video back, nothing moved. Not Alma. Not the curtains. Not even dust in the air. Just the sound of breathing. Not fast, light baby breathing. Slow. They tried switching monitors. Reset the Wi-Fi. Updated the firmware. Nothing helped. On the 7th night, the motion alert came again. Brielle opened the live feed and froze. Alma was under the blanket like always, but something was standing next to the crib, tall, bent forward. Its feet hovered inches above the carpet. The shape had no visible eyes, no clothes, no face, just a head tilted like it was listening, watching. The monitor cut to static before she could scream. Mateo ran in. Nothing was there. Just Alma under her blanket, breathing slow. Her skin was cold to the touch. Her tiny hands were clenched tight. When they pried one open, they found a shred of paper. Old, yellowed, and torn like it came from a diary. There were only 3 words on it: cover your guilt. They thought maybe it was an old artifact left in the crib, something from a thrift store. They emptied the room, repainted the walls, burned the crib. But Alma still crawled into the corner, still hid. And every night the alerts came. At 9:41. Exactly. One night, Mateo stayed in the room with her. Blanket ready, lights off, camera rolling. Nothing happened for 20 minutes. Then it got cold. He swears he could see his breath. Then he heard her voice. Brielle's. Clear as day, whispering his name. Only she was in the other room. Then the closet door creaked open. He turned. The space inside was dark, too dark. Deeper than it should have been. He saw movement, something folding. Something stretching its arms across the ceiling like a spider, but without joints. Then Alma whimpered. He turned back. Her blanket was slipping. He rushed to pull it back over. The instant it covered her head, the closet door slammed shut. He never told Brielle what he saw, but he started waking up with scratches across his chest. Brielle started dreaming of blood. Not random. Not horror movie stuff. Specific. A girl she knew from childhood. One she pushed into a riverbank. One who never came back. And Mateo? He started muttering in his sleep. Names of people he hadn't spoken to in years. One of them was a man who had gone missing in Mexico in 2004. A man Mateo had once fought in a bar. A man whose body was never found. It wasn't a haunting. It was a spotlight. The house, the blanket, the child, it was all part of something older. Something that didn't punish like demons or curse like ghosts. It revealed. And it only stepped closer when you refused to acknowledge it. But the baby didn't refuse. The baby just hid. And that hiding held it back. The old woman next door finally said something. She had lived there since 1951. She only spoke to warn them. That house was built wrong. Not the wood. The ground. It was marked. That room was never meant for cribs. It's not a nursery. It's a confessional. They started sleeping in shifts. They moved Alma's crib to the kitchen. But she still crawled under the blanket at 9:41. No matter where she was. It wasn't the room. It was the time. The moment something was allowed in. Something that only children could sense. And only guilt could attract. Then came the night the power went out. The monitor clicked off. And from the dark hallway they heard Alma whimper. Not cry. Not scream. Just a sharp intake of breath. Mateo ran in. He slipped on something, slick dark. Brielle followed. The window was open. The crib was empty. But the blanket was hanging from the ceiling fan. And on it, drawn in thick lines like with a burned stick, was a single symbol, a circle with eyes all the way around it. They found Alma under the sink, still breathing, still hiding, still safe. Mateo didn't survive the week. He started tearing mirrors off the walls. He stopped eating. He died in his sleep, back arched, mouth wide, eyes burnt black. The coroner said it looked like exposure, like he'd been caught in a house fire. But nothing in the room was touched, except the baby monitor. It had melted. Brielle moved out 2 days later. She never slept near Alma again without a blanket in reach. Not for warmth, not for comfort, but because some covers don't block cold. They block something else. So if your child ever pulls a blanket over their head and stops smiling, stops laughing, stops looking at you, don't take it off. Don't try to play peekaboo. Don't try to see what they're hiding from. Ask yourself what they already know about you, and what they might be saving you from.